Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to share this video. And if you're listening to the audio version on the Kempire podcast, make sure you guys subscribe there if you haven't. But also give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify because it's important, okay? It is important. And of course, sharing is caring. So be sure to share the video and share the podcast because sometimes I do add additional content to the podcast version, or sometimes the podcast version, very much like this particular one, will come out before the video. So if you want to hear my thoughts earlier, this is your opportunity because this is a pre-recorded, yes, pre-recorded recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm more like, yay. But the season finale of the Real Housewives of Miami is here, so we'll be talking about that later on today. So make sure you are following and you're subscribed and your notifications are on everywhere because I know YouTube notifications are not the most reliable. Also, what's not the most reliable, Real Housewives of Orange County this season. I did see that, and I don't know the history. I don't know the history between Alexis and Vicky Gunvalson. But I see that they recently reunited and there's peace amongst them. I don't know what issues that they had over the years, but now they're saying that now Shannon is going to be very upset now that Vicky sort of turned on her too. I thought Vicky and Shannon were good. Oh, look, I didn't listen to the interview and I'm not going to. You guys can let me know about the cliff notes in the comments or in the live chat. I'm not invested in OC. And right now, based off this season, I'm not getting any more invested when it comes to the sidelines and the stories. Why are we in this episode? First of all, did you guys miss Katie? Did you notice Katie wasn't there? Just asking. I'm not team Katie. I'm not team any of these people. I'm just asking, did you notice that she wasn't there? Do you miss her? Some might say, without Katie, the season's flopping. Come on, Katie wouldn't have made this hot mess any better, let's be honest. But if they're going to do a celebratory season 20, they're going to have to do better than this cast. And look, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm only talking about this week, this episode. I'm Team Tamra. Because isn't Tamra and Gretchen supposed to be in a better place at this particular point? Or at least somewhat of a better place at this particular point? I'm not necessarily a better place, but a better than they were placed. And I have to say, watching this episode, now I believe Katie, I still think Katie's a liar. Don't get me wrong. I think you could be a liar about other things, but this particular thing, you told the truth. I believe Slade and Gretchen want to spin this narrative. I think they wanted to secure her a bigger role. I think they only offered Gretchen a friend of role and she wanted a bigger role. And they thought they could do it this way by stirring the pot and stirring up 12, 15-year-old beef. I don't care about what happened in season 8. Okay. I don't know about you. I don't know if it's season 8. I don't know about you guys. And you guys actually watched it back then. So I can imagine if I'm frustrated that we're rehashing such old beef, and we're still bringing that up in 2025. I think this was 2024 when they filmed, or 2020. Who cares? I can only imagine how you guys feel that watched it in real time. I'm watching this. I'm like, why are we rehashing the same beef from 15 years ago? You guys don't like each other. Let it go. Why did we bring Gretchen back? Some of y'all were like, oh, I'm so excited for Gretchen. I'm not saying you guys. I'm so excited for Gretchen. Da 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 da. Gretchen has been a big old flop. Slade, he's the worst of what we always say we don't like about the husbands on these shows. Thirsty. And now she wants to backtrack. Gretchen wants to backtrack on what Slade said on the phone. You put the battery in his back. You're the one who brought up this recording of Tamra. I think you guys produced it and you were playing bad cop, good cop. And I think very much like what Tamra said in this episode, she likes to play victim. And I see it. You do not play victim well. You know, some people can play victim well and you do feel bad for them. Gretchen, I don't believe it. I see right through all of that makeup. Caked on makeup. I see right through it. I'm just like, girl, I don't believe a word that's coming out of your mouth. I don't believe that you're innocent. And then the way that you tried to sidestep when confronted about what Slade said, you look, oh, wait, I have no control over what Slade said. You just threw your husband right under the, well, not even husband, they're not even married. Through your partner, your domestic partner, I don't even call him domestic partner. You got to be employed to be called my domestic partner. You're dependent. You filed for him on your taxes? You should. Okay? That's what it's giving. And I already knew some of the history about Slade. You guys have told me. I've heard about him even before recapping the show. But to see it all play out, I'm just like, he's still thirsty. Like, why would you even be with a man like this? But okay. Fine. Okay? I know I'm jumping all around. I just had to jump right on in. I don't have notes. I do have a couple of notes, but I'm not going to really stick with these notes, but look, what is there I wanted to make sure I met? Okay, let's first talk about Tamra, because Tamra, I might be on your side, but you also have nothing else going on. And I appreciate you reconnecting with your daughter and being there for your daughter. This storyline, I can tell you right now, I really do not care about. Good for her. She wants a musical career. Maybe you said, film with me and this could promote your music. Fine, I'm not gonna go listen to that. Not here, not there, and not on the iPod. Sorry. God, you come on the show. You want to be on the show. People are going to feel what they feel about you. You put your daughter on the show. Here we are. They go in this episode. We'll take a visit at a musical institute and talking about her music. And then Tamara's talking about, I wanted to, I didn't want to do music, but I wanted to get into fashion and da 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 da. Boring. I did not care about. I haven't cared about any of Tamara's scenes since she's returned. None of her family scenes have I cared about. She even filmed with Eddie this week. I'm just like, something about Eddie's cringy to me too. Not like Seth cringy, just sort of like when he talks about Shannon, I get like, I don't know, I get the ick when he talks about Shannon. And I know Shannon's not perfect, but I get the ick when he talks about Shannon. But anyway, that's me. That's my opinion. Okay? I know you guys said I should put that in here. I just don't know if I want to hear Tamara every once in a while when I want to say that's my opinion. Maybe I will record my version. Okay. All right. So we had a couple of scenes with Tamara. It's one scene with Tamara talking with Eddie, and they're talking about her issues with Shannon. Because you remember during the separate girls' trips that they did, Tamra, which I disagree, Tamra brought up the fact that Shannon's father had a drinking problem. And I agree with Shannon. I'm Team Shannon on this one. You may have not been trying to take a dig at Shannon's drinking, but that was not your place to bring up her family. That would be like, God forbid, let's say your daughters had an issue with drinking or had an issue with something. And you confided in Shannon about it, and then she, as you're opening up and talking with the group, and Shannon suddenly says, I know the housewives don't understand analogies. I'm not saying that this is true, so let me preface this, okay? Because some of these housewives like, you talked about my daughter. I'm using this as an analogy. I'm not saying that this is true, okay? It's like as if Shannon, you had confided in Shannon and your daughter had like a drug problem. And you're opening up and you're talking about, where I grew up and, I'm distant from my kids. And Shannon randomly brings up, Yeah, because I know you said that your daughter had that drug problem. It was so bad. That is not her place to bring it up. Hence, that is not your place to bring up her father's drinking issue. And I understand why it might be sensitive to Shannon because you were so disgusting, Tamra. I know a lot of you are thinking, I thought you said you're going to be Team Tamra this episode. Buckle up, okay? I can't be Team Tamra all the time. It's very rare. I can't remember the last time I was Team Tamra. Oh, I never was? Fine. Look, fine. All right. So back to this. So I completely get where Shannon's coming from, but and Eddie's explanation to her again, Eddie's going to film with Tamra. I always agree with Tamra. That was not Tamra's place to bring up the father's possible drinking issue. It wasn't. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. Okay. And then of course we had another scene with Tamra, and what I did like about this episode was the scenes between Tamra and her daughter and Jenn and her daughter. Not like I said, I know you're probably thinking, I thought you said you didn't like the scene. I like how they connected the mother-daughter aspect of the episode. But I actually prefer Jenn's scene with her beautiful daughter. Her daughter seems so kind, so sweet, very much like Jenn. They went for their facials, and this is where Jenn's daughter opens up about, being conflicted about her getting married because she loves her dad. So of course she wants her mom to be happy, but she feels conflicted. I completely get it. It was a really sweet moment between them. She says that, her sons don't want to do some of these things with her. She wants her daughter to be a part of this wedding. Earlier on in the episode, we see her and Ryan talking about the wedding and trying to plan it. And she's just sort of like dragging her feet with planning it. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care who's there. I don't care what we do. The only people I care about that are there are the kids and me and you. I can see why she would not want to rush to getting married. Yes, getting engaged, beautiful. But I understand. She was married for a very long time. The marriage fell apart and it got really ugly in court. I understand why Jenn might be like, but she says that Ryan is her best friend. I don't know how to feel about Ryan, to be honest with you. He gives me greasy, little suspect, but you like it, we love it. But I will say this, Jenn, I changed my opinion on you a little bit in this week's episode because I did see that you were willing to do anything to cover up for Gretchen in this episode. And I was just like, did she tell a lie when it comes to the Katie of it all? Did she choose Gretchen over Katie? I don't know. Maybe. And I know you're thinking, wow, is Kempire changing his views on? Well, based off an edited show and based off once we get more information and as these things play out, this is why I say don't be team anyone because we don't know the real deal. We don't know the things that are happening behind the scenes. We are watching an edited show, y'all. So when we say we're team anyone, I'm saying it facetiously. But I do know that some of these folks are like, they're so team whatever side that they're willing to argue in the comment section or in the live chat. But I've been telling you guys, I feel like everybody was lying. But I'm seeing it more and more, especially in this week's episode, how Jenn is willing to go to bat for Gretchen. And maybe because she was in her DMs and she begged Gretchen, come save me, help, Tamra's coming for me. I don't think that was the right team, Jenn. I think you're in over your head when it comes to Gretchen and Slade and what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know if I would say you should have stuck with Katie because I do think Katie is suspicious too in her behavior. I do think that Katie was doing all kinds of things with bloggers behind the scenes. I do believe that. I do believe those things can be true, but also Gretchen and Slade could be grimy too. So poor Jenn, the little Bambi stuck between all these wolves. If anything, I believe Jenn more as a victim than I do Gretchen. Gretchen and her victim mentality and what she was trying to bring. Like, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't mean it like that. Da 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 da. Really? But Gretchen got her wish though this episode. There's been a lot of focus on her as if she is a main character, and she really is just not really. She is a friend of this season. So then there's that. Yeah. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about in regards to that? Well, let me see some of my notes that I have here. So the ladies are talking about what happened, what played out. Okay, Tamra, I'm gonna be team you at some particular point during this episode. But that confessional look, there's a couple of confessional look. Emily, I don't know what that haircut and I don't know what that outfit was in this confessional. I will say, dare I say, for the most part, we saw a new Gina confessional look, and it was pretty. She had like the little baby blue on. I was like, oh, baby blue, like my iPhone. I love this new iPhone. Anyway, it's real light, y'all. Just saying. Um, Gina's had a decent year with her confessionals. Emily, I do like Emily's other one that premiered, I think, a couple episodes ago, but we see it once in this episode. But that one with the hair, oh no. But Tamra, where she has like a very low cut dress on, and then you see like the side of her boob, which doesn't even look real. I'm not talking about people's bodies, but it just stood out to me. This is the recap. I know you guys are thinking it, and you're probably saying it in the chat. I noticed it, and I was just like, that almost doesn't even look real the way that it was. But okay, whatever. All right. So we already talked about, we talked about Tamra taking her daughter Sophia to a musical tour. Then my note says she's showing a softer, more maternal side. She's trying her best. Tamra's definitely trying her best. All right. Jen's daughter expresses her concern. We talked about that. Okay, I just want to make sure I cover all the things. Oh, so Gretchen hosts the ladies at this sort of like fake self-defense class. So it's like a self-defense class. So the company fakes these sort of carjackings when Shannon and Jenn arrived. Who was in the car? Was it Gina and Tamra arrive, and they do these fake carjackings. I mean, that is kind of scary. Like, I don't know why they would play games like that, but they didn't play it for long, because you don't know how people are going to react. Because for all you know, one of them could have opened their door and would have been like, boom. You just don't know how people are going to react. Or, as Shannon said, put her feet up and kick them. You just don't know. But maybe he knows he should know self-defense. He would have been able to block it. I don't know what I would have done. Especially being in New York, you just never, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, I don't care about this. What was the Lara Croft costume? I mean, I will give Gretchen this. Body was snatched. Her body almost looked like AI. I was like, oh, okay, girl, we see you. So she was giving Lara Croft. Everyone had commentary on it. So are we surprised that Tamra's good with a pow pow? She was pretty damn good. I was impressed. Does she do that often? I'm just saying. I was pretty impressed with her being able to do that. So the group comes together in this episode at this event. So they start off the episode showing what happens at the event, and Tamra being told about what Gretchen said at the girls' event. Okay, and then they flash back to before any of that happened. So now we're at the actual event again. And I have a feeling that Tamra was already told by someone in the group about what Gretchen said. And probably was Heather, right? Because, I mean, it could have been Emily too. Emily was there stirring the pot. Emily was the one bringing the information to Tamra. So it could have been Emily too. Someone gave her the heads up, because I felt like Tamra came in already with her story. Because Tamra also had mentioned that when she had recorded the song, that she was separated from her first ex and she was dating Eddie. So either way, she was in a relationship. I don't know if she would have said that she was exclusive. I'm sure she'll have an excuse for this, but I don't know. I don't know the timeline. I don't know if you guys even know the timeline, because I don't even know if you even knew that this song that she did. I heard the song. The song was on social media. Not good at all. I'm glad. Yeah, it wasn't great. And the guy that they're talking about, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, is the guy from 98 Degrees, not Nick Lachey, the other dark-haired one. Oh no, there's a couple of dark-haired ones. Tillman. Hold on, let me look it up while I'm doing this. Look, This will make the recap even longer than last week's recap. 30 something minutes. All right, let me see. 98-degree members. Let's see. I can't remember that. Yes, Jeff Timmons, allegedly. Sidebar, Jeff Timmons did not age great. I'm sorry. Okay. Nick Lachey, I have to say, still looks really good. But Jeff Timmons, who used to be probably like one of the better looking ones in the group, he did not age great. Let me show you the old picture of 98 Degrees. And then we get, look, we got nothing but time because I'd much rather talk about them than talk about anything else that happened in this episode. Please hold. Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up for you guys so that we can talk about other things that are probably not important. I mean, Nick Lachey was cute back in the day too. All right. Fine, Nick. Okay, so 98 Degrees. I probably only know like 2 songs from 98 Degrees. I guess he wasn't that cute back in the day either. Maybe I was thinking. So Jeff is the one in the middle on the right. Okay, next to the guy with the hat. Okay. That is the one that they're alleging. You know, they bleep out his name, but this is what the streets are saying, that they're talking about him from 98 Degrees. Let me see if I can find a new photo of Jeff Timmons today. Please hold. This is why I tell you I need to take care of yourselves. But now looking back, and I'm like, I guess he ain't that great looking. And I guess he doesn't look that bad. At least he got all his hair. You know what I mean? But when I look at the old photo, I for some reason I thought he was better looking back in the day. I guess he didn't age that bad. I apologize, Jeff. I apologize. He didn't age that bad. He still got all his hair. Just saying. But I guess Nick Lachey looks good. Nick Lachey looks good. So this is the guy. I mean, when you look at Eddie, it seems like this would be her type, right? This guy looks like he would be Tamra's type. He dark hair, muscles. Yeah, I could see it. I can definitely, actually, the more I look at the photo, I'm like, that was her type. Anyway, 98 Degrees. What a throwback. Now I'm looking at old photos of Jeff Timmons. I was like, yeah, he wasn't that cute. He wasn't that cute. Who was cuter? I have to say, the one that I think normally people probably wouldn't have thought, the one that was in the hat, if you see a picture with him without the hat, he's actually kind of cute. I mean, let's be honest. All of them are okay. Look, all of them are okay. I'm not not in love. Okay. Oh, wait a second. There's a picture of Jeff as a firefighter. I guess this was for maybe one of the calendars back in the day. Let me bring this up for you guys. This is him as a firefighter. Maybe he just had body. Maybe we were all just looking at the body back in the day. I mean, the face ain't bad, but it's definitely giving like this would be her type. This would definitely be her type. Do they still do stuff together, 98 Degrees? We know that Nick Lachey stays booked and busy. He hosts Love is Blind. Isn't he a producer on there too? Oh gosh, I just saw a new photo. Let me show you this photo. We have gone down a rabbit hole. Let me just show you this other photo. This is another photo of Jeff Timmons. Look, by the grace of God, we will get older too. He still got his hair though. Still got his hair. I mean, it's fighting for its life. But he still got it. How old is he? Look, now I got to Google smuggle that. How old is Jeff Timmons? Let's see. We've gone down a rabbit hole, but I love it when we go down rabbit holes. Who else? Look, who else? He's 52. That's 52 years old right there. He ain't got no lips either. I have digressed. I can't imagine. Have you ever kissed anyone with no lips? I'm trying to think. Look. I don't know if I have. And if I have, it definitely wasn't memorable. Oh, damn, he's a Taurus. He was born April 30th, 1973. He's a Taurus. I like Jeff. We went down a whole 98 degrees rabbit hole. Speaking of which, since we're talking about the 90s and we're talking about 98 degrees, and they have a song with Mariah Carey, her new project, Here for It All, is out today. At this particular point, I have not listened to it because this is pre-recorded. Sorry to the people in chat. Oh my God, this is pre-recorded. Sorry, you're still getting a recap. What's live versus the pre-recorded? I mean, yeah, I get to see your comments live, but look, I'll see your comments anyway. I'll be in the chat. All right. So he's a Taurus. What's Nick Lachey? Oh Lord. See, now we're going down a rabbit hole. Just because I want to know. Nick Lachey. Let's see. November 9th, he is a Scorpio. What's Vanessa Lachey? She's a Scorpio too. I told you, the product of two Scorpios. So it's not surprising that they work. I think we talked about them being both. Wait a second. They have the same birthday, y'all? Even though he's 7 years older than she is, but they're both born on November 9th, according to Google Schmoogle. Really? Really? Look, really? And Jessica Simpson's July 10th. That makes her Cancer. I can see how that worked. Another water sign. We have gone down the 90s reality TV. We've gone down a rabbit hole right now. He's got a thing for the ladies born in 1980 because she's the same age as his wife, his previous wife. She was born in 1980, and so was Vanessa Lachey. But they've been together for a long time now. How long they've been together? Oh, I didn't realize she was born in the Philippines. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I apologize, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire channel. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. If you're listening to this, be sure to give us a 5-star review, because you're not just going to have us give you a Real Housewives of Orange County recap. We're going to go down a 90s to early 2000s rabbit hole. And now I'm going to climb out of this rabbit hole and get back to the recap. Because I really don't have that much more to say, because everything is leading up to this confrontation between Tamra and Gretchen. At this event, this is where Emily spills all the beans about what Gretchen alleged. That you were married, you hooked up with this 98 degrees person. She doesn't say that. They beep it out. And you recorded this song, blah, 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 blah. But you remember when Gretchen was talking about this with Slade, she really tried to downplay. And she's like, I'm kind of mad at you for, adding that, information. Girl, stop. You literally were the one bringing up this song. And I wouldn't be surprised that you were sort of playing good cop. He was playing bad cop, that you were bringing this up. And they were like, oh, call him, call Slade. I believe you all were trying to produce a moment. Very much, I believe Katie when she said that Slade was behind the scenes trying to produce these moments. Probably to secure a check for Gretchen, because her securing this check secures a roof over his head. Let's be honest. All right. Anyway, so Tamra obviously is going to get upset about this, because I can't remember where Gretchen and Tamra were. Because I remember on the beach, they had their conversation and they put things to the side, and they were going to try and move forward. So honestly, I'm blaming Gretchen for now them being set back, because I can't remember what Tamra may have said, but I could be forgetting a detail, because Tamra does take digs in her confessionals. We got to keep in mind, confessionals are oftentimes filmed after the season has finished. And I'm trying to remember if Tamra had taken any digs after that conversation. But based on what I'm seeing, I felt like Gretchen was coming for Tamra, because coming for Tamra is going to secure her more scenes, more relevancy on the show. Let's be honest. So Tamra, they're still playing these games. They're playing. I'm very impressed by Tamra's shooting skills. I'm just saying. She was like, bam, 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 bam. I was like, oh, damn, Tamra. And then she was just like, So they sit down, and this is where Tamra confronts Gretchen. Gretchen alludes like she knows more about Tamra. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not a Tamra fan. You guys already know this. However, I feel like Gretchen was bluffing, because when the producers asked her in her confessional, she's like, next question. Right? She said, next question or no comment, something like that. And I'm thinking, so like, girl, you know nothing. You don't. And I'm not saying that Tamra's innocent, but if Gretchen knew anything about Tamra, she would have shared it in these last decade. Let's be honest. She would have shared it. So I feel like she's just putting it out there because she understands. So just putting it out there like, oh my God, there's something dark and secret about what's going on with Tamra. Yeah, we probably already talked about it. Her relationship with Eddie, possibly, like, her kids not talking. I mean, there probably could be more. I mean, that confessional look with the low cut. Let's talk about it. No. So I don't believe Gretchen. I believe Gretchen was trying to stir the pot. And she was like, I do know a bunch of things about you. And Tamara's like, well, say it. Tamara can do a lot, though. That's the only thing about Tamara. I'm like, girl, calm down. She's like, say it. What do you have to say? What do you have on me? Then it gets into this 12-year-old BS about a lawsuit. And look, I watched it over and over again to get an understanding. So apparently Gretchen may have been having an affair with this guy, but then she didn't want to, allegedly, this is according to Tamra, didn't want people to think that she had this affair because she had a fiance or something like that. So she started saying that this guy was like a stalker. She was disparaging him. So he sued her for disparaging him. So it was a bunch of suing, according to Tamra. And that is brought up again, and they flash back to it. I'm like, for those that watch it in real time, are you frustrated with the fact that we're rehashing? This is not the first week that we constantly keep flashing back to old stuff. It doesn't feel like, oh, we're bringing it up for an actual point. We're bringing it up because we're still fighting about that same thing. I don't get it. For me, I feel like Gretchen has come back this season and flopped hard, flopped majorly. So many people say, oh, I'm so excited for Gretchen to come back. She's going to really take Tamra down. She has not taken Tamra down. She hasn't. For those that thought that she was going to take Tamra down, do you agree? She has not taken Tamra down. I don't feel like Tamra has wavered. I don't feel like Tamra seems like, oh my God, I'm falling apart. Even though you see that she kind of falls apart in next week's episode because she's dealing with, she says that she has a lot that she's dealing with, and the group is sort of turning on her again. And they're like, you got to stop running, because you see at the end of this episode, she flips on Gretchen and she gives her the finger, and she's like, ah! Tamra you need some therapy, girl. Oh, she's in therapy? When the cameras are not rolling, is she still in therapy? So she ends up storming out of this event, and she's really upset. I have to say, though, after watching this week's episode, I'm just like, again, if I had to choose a team, I'm going to be like Tamra, because I feel like Gretchen stirred this up, started more drama, when you were supposedly trying to work things out with Tamra. Even if you weren't best of friends, you had agreed to move forward. You're the one who started bringing all this other drama up. That is how I feel based off of just what we're watching in this season. We're not even talking about White Girl Wasted or whatever happened in that season. I'm just like, this week's episode, I'm like, Gretchen, you're doing a lot, and I definitely see the cracks. I see the lies. And sidebar, I did find Tamra funny in her confessional. She's like, what am I going to sue Gretchen for? Groceries and what, a Facetune subscription? Look, she has her moments. She has her moments. I thought that was hilarious. Anyone else? I thought it was hilarious. But what else? Let me just look at my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that I wanted to talk about. No. I love how this note says Gretchen's return flops in this episode. That's hilarious. Her attempts to stall new conflict fall flat, and she's seen as manipulative. That was from Vulture. Vulture wrote that. So I'm not the only one that feels this way about Tamra right now. Okay, they said Gretchen's return flops in this episode. So I feel vindicated because that's exactly what I said before I read this in Vulture. That's hilarious. But that's me. How long do we go this? Well, damn, 34 minutes. 35 minutes. It's okay. Woo, woo, woo. I'm not going to spend or vamp if there's nothing there. You guys probably want it quick and easy too. That's what he said. I'm just going to wrap it up. I'll have a lot more to say when it comes to Real Housewives of Miami later on today, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. PST. Set your reminders. The link is now available. Vote in the live chat poll for that. Vote in the live chat poll here. How would you rate this week's episode from 1 to 10? If I had to rate this week's episode, I'm going to give it a 6. I don't want to even give it anywhere in the range of a 7. It wasn't that good. And honestly, I'm ready for the season to wrap up. This is episode 12. You guys got a good... Lord, they haven't even gone on their cash trip yet. I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be done. I am. But we went down a whole rabbit hole in regards to the 98 degrees of it all. I want to hear your thoughts. Even if you're part of the replay crew, let us know your thoughts and opinions and how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County. And shout out to those of you that hit me up on the podcast on Spotify. Make sure you follow us there. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating there. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, same. Club Kempire, I haven't forgotten about you. I've just been busy this week. I got a lot going on. I got appointments and this and that. I got a lot going on. And then, I'm getting this and I'm doing that. Anyway. And as usual, I was just, sidebar. If you missed it, I was on Jolene's Lunzer's YouTube channel talking about Big Brother. So if you've been wanting to hear my thoughts and opinions about Big Brother season 27, this is your opportunity. I'll post the link in the description of this video because it is pre-recorded. I'll post the link so that you guys can go check it out. Go give it a like. Go drop your crowns and your elephants in her comment section as well. I thought we had a really great conversation. We're going to do it again. And I did say that I'm going to try and get into Amazing Race because Taylor Hale's in it. And I'm like, maybe I need to get into this, at least this season. Stay tuned. So be sure to go check out that video and go like that video, share the video, all that good stuff. Okay. And what else did I do? Part 2 of my conversation with David Yontef from Behind the Velvet Rope came out this week as well. The video clips are available on his YouTube channel, Behind the Velvet Rope. So go drop your crowns and your elephants in regards to that as well. So there's the part 1 that came out last week and then part 2 that came out this week. Go leave all the good comments. Say you love Kempire, blah, 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 all the good stuff. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our subscribers. And those of you still watching in the bushes, keep watching. But help us get to 550,000 subscribers here. We're trying to get to 1 million, but here goes the climb. What's that song by Miley Cyrus? The climb. All right. Now I'm delusional. I'm recording this late. Okay. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Evening, afternoon, day, weekend, all that good stuff. I'll see you during the Real Housewives of Miami recap. Stay tuned. I got lots to say in regards to that. All right, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Here we go now.